the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
Hell yeah. High
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is After Further Review, episode 208. I am your favorite co-host, Jim Brown.
And I'm your most hated co-host, Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other great co-host, all the way from Sarasota, Nestor.
And no lie.
Nestor's holding up fine after the storm in Sarasota there. And all the way back from the north, June Buck Spade, our special first half guest. What's going on, June?
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Bonjour.
There he is.
Terrible.
We are happy to have you back, good sir. The season started and then you were up out of here, so good to have you back.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, your Cowboys ain't done much since you left.
Yeah,
But,
pretty much.
but Texas, the Longhorns at Arch Manning, they're still doing some things. Still doing some things.
Gentlemen, let's take a shot here to start of October and quarter way through the season.
Oh, we all have shots.
My Huskies
All have
may have
shots.
just lost to Rutgers, but I'm still repping the Huskies.
I did watch a game.
I don't know why you're laughing, June.
That's good.
I want some money. Thank you, Rutgers.
That's hurtful.
Malin's downfall is June's profit.
It is. Actually, my downfall is the fucking Mariners. That's my downfall.
Ooh.
Oh,
Been on this earth for 43 years. They've been a team for, I think, 47 years? Playoffs
48.
four times?
49.
No World Series?
Hmm.
No World Series. Not even an appearance.
It's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Even that season, they
The
won
old-
over 100 games. They didn't make it to the World Series.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
Remember they had
Jim.
that. Oh, I'm sorry.
You just want to
Sorry.
remind.
Well, I
the
remember.
person at
I
home.
remember 116 wins, and we lost to the Yankees in the ALCS.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very Mariners like to have the record for most wins in a regular season and not make a World Series. That is very Mariners.
Kids at home, this is an
Cowboys-esque.
NBA and NFL podcast.
Sometimes.
we,
Sometimes.
we talk ball every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern Time. So if you would like to tune in live, you can do so on YouTube. It's always linked down in your podcast description below. For all the kids out there that listen to podcasts, if you found us on TikTok, which is more likely, it's linked in our bio there. So that's another way you can find us. But yeah, Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. Come hop in the live chat, and you can weigh in on the conversation as it happens in real time. But with that being said, I don't think there's anything else that needs to be mentioned. What needs to be mentioned is Week 4 is in the books, and the NFL is looking wacky again, folks. We are going to start off with the Sunday night game with the Ravens beating the Bills 35-10. June, we're going to go to you first here. Do the Ravens now look like title contenders?
I mean, I think they've righted the ship. Even with them letting Dallas back into the game, and not scoring in the second half, I still think this team is the team to beat in the AFC. The Bills, I mean, they were hot. I mean, this team was hot. They were spanking everybody. I mean, they were just spanking teams. But they got a piece of reality. The Bills got drugged back down to reality that you're not the top team. There are two top teams in the AFC, and it's still Kansas City and Baltimore. Baltimore start off the season slow. I mean, they got a lot of new moving parts. You know what I mean? And that stuff has got to gel. Again, teams don't play in the preseason anymore. So what you're seeing is some of these teams that started slow starting to now find a little bit of rhythm with their team. So I think the Baltimore Ravens is probably right where all of us had them at this point in the season. So maybe plus or minus one game. So yeah, I think they look good.
Malin?
That's the question. Are they contenders again? Is that what we're saying?
Right. Do they look like a contender to you?
Not yet. I think they need to do something else. I think if they take care of business against Cincy, Washington, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland, and Denver, then yeah, you look like a title contender. But we're 3 weeks away from them losing to the Raiders for no reason. They had no business losing to the Raiders. They almost allowed Dallas to come back when they were whooping the shit out of Dallas. So the Bills, I think maybe we saw a little bit more of the Bills we thought we were, than maybe we saw more of the Ravens of what we thought we were going to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of the Bills that we had some question marks, and they started off hot. I get that. It kind of came back down to earth. But when I'm looking at this Ravens team, I'm still not 100% sold that they're willing to give Derrick Henry the rock as many times as they need to. I think those stats are still inflated because that 87-yard touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage, which made G Money damn near just take his pants off. He knew he was going to win the moment that happened. Because G Money has Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, so you can imagine just how happy he was in fantasy football. And I was FaceTiming him the whole time while this game was going on. I was like, please just keep your fucking clothes on. But no, I don't know. I think you still got some question marks because of what they've done so far. So yeah, can they go on? If they go on a run, yes. But one good win does not make you a title contender. Shit, Dallas had one good win week 1. And what, like, are we thinking Dallas is the title contender right now because they had that one great win?
No, we're
you know
not.
what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not.
So it's like one great win, like one big win like this does not move the needle that much for me. Why? Because this NFL season is fucking wild. And it doesn't matter who you line up, anybody can win right now. Yep. And so they need to do a little bit more than be 2-2 to be a title contender. I mean, the Chiefs are playing like dog shit every single fucking week, and they're still winning ball games.
Thanks to
and they're playing like shit every single week. So yeah, they need to show just a little bit more before I'm necessarily a believer.
Nestor, go ahead, good sir.
I was very happy, although I was wrong in the ride or die. I was very happy this happened to the Bills. Ecstatic. I was talking about a correction coming up for the Bills. The way they were playing and the way the defense was playing, the way Brady had them playing, I just felt like it was going to come in later in the season. But
Brady,
yeah, isn't there yeah.
Oh,
so what they did to my Dolphins and what's happening with that whole situation with the coach and Tua, I just the way we're getting our asses whooped, I just had to bring out the old British beer company. That's what it feels like is happening to us this season. This is what's happening to the Dolphins this season.
So listen, my Seahawks could lose to anybody, and I'm not grabbing the BBC. That's not happening.
The Ravens
not in the cards, Nestor.
The Ravens just look like exactly what they are, what they were last season. They're looking like a team that will get to the playoffs and then lose. So unless they show us something different, in the upcoming weeks, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Well, I don't think this necessarily makes them contenders. It was an impressive win against an impressive team. But this is more along the lines of what we were expecting them to look like out of the gate. They kind of stumbled out the gate a bit, and now they're seemingly starting to arrive. But like Malin said, I just want to see some more impressive wins. They've got Cincinnati coming up this weekend, so that's going to be another good test to see, what's really up with them. But it's a wacky year, and good teams are losing in bad fashion, and so it's just kind of hard to judge at this point. Ultimately, they should be title contenders, yeah, but right now, it's still kind of hard to tell. And again, like Malin said, are they going to keep going to the run game and let that be their bread and butter? That's going to be another big tell. So we'll find that out kind of later in the year, but right now I wouldn't jump to that conclusion. But yeah, let's move on to the next game, which was the Chiefs and the Chargers. Final score was 17-10 in favor of the Chiefs, but they did lose. Pretty much their best receiver in Rashee Rice. Nestor's guy might be done for the year. It's still not clear yet, but
I heard he was. I thought it was torn ACL.
Yeah.
No,
It's
not.
Apparently, they're still waiting to see if it completely tore or if it's like a partial tear.
What are you doing, Nestor?
Let me know already, so I know what to do with him.
But June, we'll start with you. Will the Chiefs be able to overcome all these injuries?
Two things in the NFL that you can't overcome is injuries and age. And once you get old and once you got too many injuries, it all starts to go downhill. But this is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I just don't see that happening with this team. They willed their team to win. Now, will they lose a few games? I think they will. I think they're going to run up against some teams, and Mahomes won't be able to work his magic and get the ball out like he can, and but as of right now, they're still a team to beat in the AFC. So, will this affect them? Yes, it will affect them. Is it going to be a long-term effect? I doubt it. I think it's going to be short-term, and then they're just going to right the ship, either by making a trade, picking somebody up, or Mahomes is going to get some of those young guys just ready to play. So I don't think it does much, hurt this team.
Malin.
Man, I don't know. I'm looking at the depth chart right now, and you're looking at Patrick Mahomes, Kareem Hunt is your starting running back. Kareem Hunt. Yeah, this isn't 2018, people. You got Xavier Worthy and Juju is your top two wide receivers right now. And then you got Travis Kelce. So what I'm really kind of concerned about is I think the Chiefs still have it in them to win 11, 12 games. I mean, hell, they've already won 4. And they have enough in the tank when the playoffs come. How much are they going to have to expend of someone like a Travis Kelce, who's 35 years old as a tight end?
Yeah.
Isn't he like 35 years old? I think ideally they would want to try to save his body for the postseason like they did last year. I think that the Chiefs will be a player for a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
The Raiders are not going to trade a
No, they're not going to trade him.
The Chiefs.
Not going to trade him.
I think both of those wide receivers are going to be on the move. Chiefs are not going to get Davante Adams. So all them Chiefs Kingdom fans,
they might as well forget
want
that.
to be stuck to Taylor Swift's titties. You're not getting Davante Adams. But could they get a D Hop? Maybe you could help them out. But I think they do need help. I do not think you could go in with this wide receiver core the way it is right now,
right,
and win a Super Bowl. I think you're asking too much You're asking too much of Patrick Mahomes. I think you're giving him a bunch of rice and water and asking him to make mashed potatoes. He ain't got no fucking potatoes. So I think they need something to help him cook a little bit more. I don't know what that is, but I don't know that you can really count on Xavier Worthy, man, being your number one
Yeah.
this early on. That wasn't the expectation coming
No.
into week one that he would be that guy. And Juju, Jesus. How's he still in the league?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
ain't doing nothing.
Shaq has owned his jersey for 4 years. You'd think he'd be dead by now. So I don't know. I'm just worried. Well, I wouldn't say worried because like no one really wants the Chiefs to win a third in a row. But I don't know. They need something else. They've
Maybe
had a
they'll go
lot.
out to Brandon Ayuk.
Maybe. Maybe.
We'll talk about him later.
Go ahead,
In a
Nestor.
second.
That's something else they need is exactly what they're gonna get because I just feel like the Chiefs are right now too much of a commodity for the NFL. Too big to fail type of thing. So I think one part of me is saying they're gonna keep getting a lot of help from the refs. But the more sensible part of me is saying that Mahomes knows how to play the game in a way that it's smart. It's they don't really make a lot of dumb mistakes, like we saw the other day where he completely ended the season for one of his receivers. But they're very smart.
Oh,
And Andy
okay.
Reid,
You
Andy
can't
Reid is
blame
even
him
smarter.
for that.
He's a genius. So I think they're gonna pull out some games that we're not expecting them to win. It's gonna be a little close, but they're gonna win them. Now, yeah, the bigger question is playoffs. What's gonna happen? Because if this isn't looking too good. Running game, you got your wide receivers like banged up. It's gonna be a problem come playoffs, but they're definitely gonna get some W's that we're not expecting them to get.
Right.
And the only reason why I say this, Jalen, is that you want to talk about Tom Brady, right? The last three-peat, or not three-peat, but the last 3 Super Bowls that Tom Brady won with the Patriots, did he go in to the playoffs without his starting running back, without his best receiver, Julian Edelman, and Gronk? Like, he never did that. And so you got Travis Kelce. That's like all he's got right now. You're bringing back a running back. That's like saying, hey, back in 2014 when they beat the Seahawks, you know what? We don't have Blunt right now, so we're going to bring back Corey Dillon, and he's going to run the rock for us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I feel like he's cooking with less than Brady ever did. At least when Brady made the playoffs with them Patriots, they were cooking on all cylinders. Gronk might have been a little bit banged up, but he had Edelman, he had White, or he had Blunt. And I just think that Mahomes is just dealing with less. God damn, he rocketed that shit out of it.
I just feel when he's doing this thing, it's like, refs, give me something. Help me out here.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe Tua could do that to not get a concussion. You don't need to be jealous. Yeah.
I ultimately they'll get over the injuries. They'll drop a few games here over the next few weeks. They do have quite a difficult stretch here. Like we got New Orleans this weekend. We've got San Francisco. And we've got like the Raiders. Tampa's not going to be an easy feat. So we'll see what happens. But if anybody can afford to lose a couple games, it's Kansas City. So, but they do need to make some kind of a move because even if Rashee Rice can come back, when is that going to be? There's still other holes in that offense regardless. So they got to make a splash. Like they really need to go get a D-Hop. And I think it's just showing how difficult winning 3 Super Bowls in a row is. Like odds are within the 3-year stretch, you're going to have this kind of an issue where your offense is just completely depleted due to injuries. And it's like, all right, now what are you going to do on the fly? How are you going to keep this thing afloat and go for that third one? So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting side story to see in real time how they're handling this. So,
And how much does Mahomes want them to give up to mortgage the future to try to win one now that's not even guaranteed? Because he's on a contract for a lot of years. And if people think he's not looking at trying to get more than 7 at this stage in his career, he's eyeballing the path to get there, and he wants to get there. And so you can't mortgage the complete future to get a rental to try to win one.
yes. All right, now let's go on to the third game here, which was between Tampa and Philly, where the Bucks won 33-16. June, was this more? This is the age-old question. Was this more bad Eagles or good Bucks?
I think it's a combination of both. The Bucks are. I mean, the Bucks been playing very well together for the past couple of years, and they've beaten the Eagles. I mean, this team owns the Eagles. Okay, they beat them last year. I think it's like 6 in a row. It's something. It's a crazy. I got to look it back up, but it's a few games in a row that they've beaten the Eagles. And there was one time they beat the Eagles and they didn't have a really good team. I think it was like the year before Tom Brady got there. But the Eagles have a problem. They've given up too many players on that defense that was so great. And they're too young, and some of those guys aren't buying into that defensive scheme. When you lose a guy like Hassan Reddick over the years, when you lose that guy, he was their defense. He was like their heart and soul on the defense. How many years that Hassan Reddick made that big play that they needed over the last few years? Got them to a Super Bowl. I mean, the stuff that he did, you can't duplicate right now. And so they're in the identity crisis. And yeah, you got to transition at some point and get younger. But the Eagles they don't have anybody to fear. Nobody fears the Eagles right now. Okay? People keep hearing, yes, ESPN said you should fear the Eagles. People in Philly say you should fear the Eagles defense, but everybody looking at the Eagles defense like, why the hell should we fear them? And then you go to the offense. Kellen Moore is not a good offensive coordinator. His offenses get figured out too quickly. He ran the same. I mean, he tried to come in with the same offenses that he's been running the last 7-8 years. And people are just like, oh, I know exactly what to do against this damn offense. I beat it before. And it's happening. The Eagles have an identity problem. If they don't fix it, the head coach won't be there, the offensive coordinator won't be there, and the defensive coordinator won't be there. The Eagles got a lot of problems. They got to fix this team. And we talked about this. We talked about this in the offseason. And we talked about when they picked up Barkley, what was it going to do? It ain't doing shit. Because you have an offensive coordinator who doesn't understand how to run the ball in the fourth quarter. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand. You got to re-scheme. You got to re-scheme in the fourth quarter to run the ball. Hey. So, hey, that's the Eagles, though. What do I know about Kellen Moore?
All I'm saying is at this point, either Kellen Moore stood up one of June's daughters on a date or he talked him into a timeshare or something. Maybe he got roped into a timeshare. I don't know, man. But this man, he's just all about, damn. No, but when we really look about it, it really is more about the Bucks being good, and I hate to admit it, than it is the Eagles. Because the Eagles, we knew were going to be bad. We knew the Eagles were going to be bad. And I'm sick and tired of seeing this stat on social media comparing Jalen Hurts stats to Patrick Mahomes because they're damn identical right now. And we want to try to act like Jalen Hurts doesn't have better weapons. Like Patrick Mahomes has a rookie in Worthy. He lost Rice. Not last week, but the week before, his starting running back was last name Stale, a white guy with long hair that owns a fucking alligator. Okay. This man, Jalen Hurts, has AJ Brown, Davante Smith, and Saquon Barkley. The weapons are a little bit different. So we knew what we were going to get out of the Eagles this year. We talked about it all offseason what we thought. And yeah, Sirianni, that's his name, right? Yeah, he's going to get fired. That's what happens when you go to a Super Bowl and you don't produce after you go to Super Bowl in Philly. They fired Doug Peterson after like 2 years. Sirianni, you're fucking gone after this year. It's going to happen. But the Bucks. Let's talk about the Bucks for a second. I'm going to hold back my puke as I talk about this because I hate the Buccaneers. But Baker Mayfield, man, he is. I feel like this is an opportunity, and you might call me crazy with this, June. Okay,
Listen, okay.
there was a quarterback back in the '80s that played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it didn't work out. It went to another team. And you know what he ended up doing? He ended up winning the NFL MVP a couple times, and he ended up winning a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers and Steve Young.
There's Mr. Steve Young.
I feel something like this might happen with Baker Mayfield to where this could be his home for like the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Because he's finally being developed.
Right.
Like, you look at the organization he's been to. Cleveland, not developing anybody. Like, do you think Cleveland would rather have Baker Mayfield right now?
Right.
Stefanski's like, what the fuck did we do? Carolina with Matt Rule, that was a shit show. He went to Sean McVay for half a year. And then he goes to the Bucks. And he outperformed last year, did he not, Jalen? And he's one of the better quarterbacks this year. He's top 5 right now in the NFL, quarterback wise. Baker Mayfield is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. If you want to take emotion out of it, he is. He's playing ball, and they still got Rashad White, Bucky Irving is a good compliment. They got a good 1-2 punch. They still got Evans and Godwin, and they still got Otten as their tight end. Like their third receiver is Sterling Shepard, who was, good like a few years ago. I like the way that this Bucks team is playing ball. I got to see a lot of it on Sunday because my Seahawks didn't play till Monday night when we lost to the Lions. Fuck the Lions. And like all of a sudden it was like every time they got the ball, they were scoring a goddamn touchdown.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I think it's more the Bucks than it is the Eagles. I think we undersold what we thought the Bucks could do because we don't want the Bucks to be good. And I don't want the Bucks to be good. I want them to lose every goddamn game they ever fucking play. But they're winning more than they're losing right now, Jalen. And I think they need to be the front runners to win the division. I think they're a more complete team than even the Saints. I think the Saints are relying on people that are already going to get hurt by week 6. So yeah, I think it's more the Bucks. I hate to say it. I got throw up right here. It's coming up. I'm talking. I gotta swallow it. It's disgusting.
They got a test this week against the Falcons, so we'll see. We'll see if
they've had tests though. A test against the Falcons.
Hey.
The Falcons.
It's a division rival. It's a division rival.
But okay, but we were all
Coach Chains is playing good.
No, if the Falcons if the Falcons decide they want to start playing Michael Penix instead of Kirk Cousins, then maybe we can have a conversation about the Falcons. Maybe, but Kirk Cousins is not playing good. And no, come on, man. No, they lost to the Steelers. Come on.
I said that.
Okay.
The-
Nestor, go ahead.
Yeah, although the Eagles came into this game with a bunch of deficiencies and a lot of injuries, problems on defense, and just them being themselves, just very inconsistent. I gotta give it to the Bucks. The last 5 games they've played against the Eagles, I think like their average points by that they've beaten them by is like 9.6, something like that. So they definitely have them in their pocket. They know how to beat the Eagles, definitely at home in Tampa. So we're gonna keep seeing that. I fear for Eagles fans. Well, actually, I'm happy about that. But
Mhm.
yeah, just Baker Mayfield is balling. And I kind of expected that when I heard the news of him going to Tampa, because it just kind of felt like you got this team where you have no pressure to perform. Honestly, you don't. And I just felt like that was the correct environment for him. I always saw Baker as a kind of like a Florida man. So I just felt like he was gonna have no pressure. He was gonna have a lot of weapons to work with. So he was gonna just let loose. And he has a great coach backing him up. So this is what you get when you have those ingredients. So good for Baker, man. I'm happy for the guy, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is nice to see him having some success in the appropriate environment.
That was nice.
Yeah,
the
this
Bucks
is
not.
a bit of both. Like the Eagles are not good, especially right now that their 2 best receivers are hurt. But at the same time, the Bucks are legit. Like they are a good team. I want to say, at least me, I had them as like around a 500 team in the preseason. But they're looking like they should be more than 500 by the time the season is done. That the offense is very good. Like those first few drives in the first quarter, it was just score, 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 and deep balls down the field, no problem. And then Todd Bowles has that defense coached up. They are a very, very well-rounded team, and it's kind of weird to say, but they're probably one of the like top 3 most well-rounded teams in the NFL. Like when you look at all things considered, they're very good at every facet. So the Bucks are legit.
Well,
Eagles, on the other hand, that's a bad football team with I will say, slightly above average quarterback.
I wouldn't even say that.
Me being
Slightly
nice.
above average, whatever.
Stain.
I will say this because I looked it up because my Seahawks are 3-1, right? So I'm always looking up playoff percentages. Since 2000, if you start 3-1, you have a 68% chance of making the playoffs. So yeah, I think that the Bucks are the real deal. I mean, like you said, they play the Falcons twice in the next 4 weeks. I think New Orleans is going to be the bigger test. And New Orleans is going to be the bigger test because they're still healthy. Don't act like they didn't beat the shit out of your Cowboys, June. Baltimore is going to be a huge test.
But what have they done
even
since?
even if they win even if they win 2 out of the next 4, okay, they're still 5-3, and still controlling their fate. And down the stretch, they're not playing a bunch of teams that are very difficult. I mean, starting in December, they play Carolina, the Raiders, the Chargers, Dallas, Carolina, and New Orleans is what the Bucks play. A lot of those are very winnable games, and the Giants even before that. And so even if they get out of November with just a few games over 500, you're looking at a 10-11 win team. So I mean they got to stay healthy, but and I hate to see it. I want them to lose every goddamn game. I want to make that very fucking clear. I'm still willing to sacrifice myself if someone wants to drop a dirty bomb. But well, it's only me. My kids are in Kentucky now, so it's me. I'm ready to sacrifice my family. But yeah,
All right.
the Bucks are the real deal.
Let's move out of the recap. Goodbye, week 4. Let's get into our first fantasy check-in for the season. We'll be doing, that was a heavy sigh from June there. We will be doing one of these at the end of every month or the start of every month, however you want to look at it. Side note, shout out to CHB in the chat and T Money, not to be confused with G Money. Thank you guys for watching and throwing into chat. But fantasy checking wise, this is where we go around and just kind of get a little state of the union on where all of our teams are at and what we're feeling as we move forward. There's some heavy hearts in here right now.
I ain't 0-4.
Can I go first on this?
I'm not 0-4. I'm not 0-4.
Let me tell you something.
I am 0-4. Nothing's going good. The only reason why June beat me last week is because I took out Jared Goff and started Matt fucking Stafford. And then what does Jared Goff do? He goes 18 for 18 for 2 touchdowns and catches a fucking touchdown. Scored almost 28 fucking points. So I lost because of that. That was cool. Nothing's going good, Jalen. There's nothing to write home about. Nakua's hurt. The only saving grace I might have of anything is that Nick Chubb is practicing again. But I keep losing by less than 10 points to all these people. So yeah, I overthought it. I took out Charbonnet and put in Steele last week, and Steele got negative 0.04 points, and Charbonnet had 9 points. And I took out Goff, who had 28 points, and put in Stafford, who had not even 5 points. And that's why I lost to June. So you're welcome, June.
Thank you
for that one win that you have. I hate you, and I hope you choke on your Cheerios tomorrow. But no, nothing is going good. Everything is bad. Yeah. What's the other question that we're supposed to be answering about this? Is there anything else I'm supposed to be answering? Oh, what wins, losses are I'm happiest or most upset with? I'm really upset with last week. Really upset with last week. And what changes will I be making in October? I might kill myself, is what I might do. Because there's not any other changes you can really make this late in the season.
But your team will live
the
on.
worst I've ever been at fantasy. No, they deserve to die too, all of them. Every single one of them. Stafford, fucking die. Josh Jacobs, fuck you. Lazard, eat a dick. Smith and Jigma, I like you or you're a Seattle Seahawks. Kelsey, break up with Taylor Swift, please, and lose 15 pounds. Seahawks defense, maybe not give up over 40 points to the fucking Lions. And maybe the Seahawks gonna let Myers kick a field goal every now and goddamn then. But they're not doing that. On the bench, let's see. Kyle Pitts, 0 reception, 0 yards. That's amazing. Nakua on the IR. Who the fuck is T. Johnson? Tyler Johnson?
The fuck is that?
Cooper Kupp and Nakua are both out. And Tyler Johnson was supposed to be the 3rd wide receiver for the Rams. He scored all of 1 point last week. Good for him. What a bitch. And Steele. I hope you get eaten by your alligator. You bitch. You got 1 carry and you fumbled the ball. And now Kareem Hunt, who's basically a geriatric, is a number 1 running back for the Chiefs. Gabe Davis. There's a couple dicks for you to eat as well. So all you people maybe play better. Nothing happening over here. Probably gonna go 0-17. I'm real excited about it. Real excited. I've never started 0-4 in my life on any league.
Maryland's first W is gonna be me when my whole team is fucking dead.
Because he does kill people. Nestor actually does kill people.
Who would like to go next?
I guess I'll rock it. Well, what went well is I discovered the Buccaneers defense. Buccaneers defense had been playing they've been playing pretty well. And I also have the Ravens defense. But the Buccaneers defense has been outperforming the Ravens defense throughout this season.
Wait, hold on. I lost to somebody that has two defenses on his fucking roster. I'm gonna kill myself. This man has two defenses. This man has two defenses, and I lost to him, and he has two defenses on his roster. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna eat a bullet. This is insane. I'm gonna have to. My brother's gonna have to take my guns.
What's the next? Because he didn't even forget. Oh, what? So the last week, I was out of town, but I was trying to set my roster. I wasn't paying any attention. And let me tell you,
not paying any attention.
Let me tell you, not last week, but the week before that when I lost.
Is worse. This is worse than my divorce. I just want to let y'all know. Me going 0-4 in fantasy is worse than getting divorced. I'll let you guys know this.
Oh,
fucking stupid.
So
June's like, I didn't even pay fucking attention. Go ahead, June. Sorry.
So after the Cowboys got molly-whopped by the fucking Saints, right? I said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up Derek Carr to start, right? Because he was doing good, right?" And he got 7 points. I didn't start Dak Prescott. Guess how many points he had? Oh, he had 29.
It's still fucking won.
No, not last week. The week before that when I lost.
Oh, the week before.
No. Yeah, I lost to multiple scoregasms.
Oh, that's my brother. Multiple scoregasms.
And then here's the crazy part. On my bench.
You probably lost this shit in the pillowcase a couple of times over beating you.
On my bench, I had Rome Odunze, had 23 points. I had Adam Thielen, who had 13 points, who's now out. And I had Christian Kirk, who had 15 points. And I had Dak Prescott on the bench. He ended up with 29 points with that comeback against the Baltimore. And I'm like, why? And the only two people who really got points that week was Bijan Robinson got 13 and Cole Kmet had 25 points as a tight end.
But you won. You gotta win.
No, I didn't win that week.
Mad about
I lost.
That, but you won the next week. Why are you still mad?
I'm still mad. They asked for the worst loss, but I know I gotta sit. So you asking what we doing from next October? I'm sitting Brandon Ayuk. I'm sitting Brandon.
You are.
Brandon Ayuk.
You've been pissed at him since week 1.
9 and 7. That's all the points he's got. 5, 6, 9, and 7 points. This cat has done nothing. San Francisco, why did you pay him that money? What is wrong with you?
Like clockwork in the Discord chat. This man's shitting on IU halfway through the Niner game every week. I love it. And every week he brings up the money. Why they pay this man? Why did you draft him?
I got cancer, man. You know who's cancer? Brandon Ayuk on your roster.
I love it. Man, one thing I know, every single Sunday, every Sunday, June gonna say something about Brandon Ayuk right now, unless he has a game.
Is trash. He is trash, and not just me saying it because he's on my fantasy team. Look what the Niners have done. Nothing. They haven't done anything. They're just sitting at 2-2. Yeah, but exactly, he's balling. This cat got all that money.
Same.
You know, okay. Well, you know the crazy thing though, June. is that Debo Samuel was out for 2 to 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was out for a couple games. Brandon
Right.
Ayuk been healthy every single fucking week. Brock Purdy is number 2 in passing yards, and yet
Mhm.
Brandon Ayuk playing like shit. Like,
Yep.
where's he at? Where's all these yards going to? Because they're not going to Brandon Ayuk. Somebody
No.
else getting all this shine. I don't even know who it is. I don't even know who the fuck the Niners got on their roster. But Brock Purdy, number 2 in the
Yeah.
league in passing yards, and Brandon Ayuk giving you shit. Not a damn thing.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, that's what you get as a
I
Cowboys
just don't
fan
get
drafting
it.
a 49er. That's what
I know.
happens.
Insane.
This man was projected to get 16. He was projected to get 16 points last week. He got 6.
You want to know?
Against New England. Against New England.
Hey, they got a
Against
good
New
defense.
England.
Good defense.
No, they don't. What's that for me?
Okay. You want to know what's worth? Okay, you want to know what's gonna make you feel better, June?
What's that?
My girlfriend's best friend, who just got married, she's playing fantasy football for the first time this year. Okay,
Right.
for the very first time, she drafted Christian McCaffrey number 1, Brandon Ayuk in the 2nd round,
Oh,
and
shit.
Debo in the 4th round,
Mm.
and she got it.
Damn.
Every week she's texting me, help me fix my roster, and I was like, you're fucked. I don't know what to do for you.
Oh, my God.
She had 3 49ers, and Ayuk's the only one that's played every week, and he ain't done nothing either. But her first pick was Christian McCaffrey, and I was like, I'm sorry, he probably ain't come back this year. And she wants to kill me.
You want to know what beat you? You want to know what beat you last week? My fucking kicker had 13 points. You got beat by a fucking kicker last week.
No, okay. Does that make me feel
Jake
any fucking
Moody.
better right now, June?
No, it doesn't. It should make you feel like shit.
I lost because I took out Jared Goff and put in Matt Stafford. That's why I lost. Jared Goff
Jake
started
Moody.
the week before.
That kicker.
Jake Moody from San Francisco scored 13 points. Ayuk hasn't hit double digits all this season.
Listen, if I could take a 2x4 and hit you in the throat right now, June, I'd do it. I don't need you rubbing salt on the wound. I'll break the trachea.
I'm sorry.
That's messed up. That's mean.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you didn't even cut me that deep. I was trying to help you out by telling someone had it worse than you. God damn.
I'm sorry.
A lot of emotion going on here. We've only gotten through half of the show.
Wait. What? One more thing, Jalen, that's funny about this is that this same best friend texted me during the Sunday night game saying, I finally won. And I looked at the rosters and I was like, I don't think you're going to win. Sure as shit, she lost by like 4 points because it's Sunday night. And she thought she was going to win one and she didn't. That's terrible.
Nestor, sir, how has your first month been?
Man, I'm grateful to be 2-2, considering everything that's happened. Because our whole bench is fucking injured.
Fuck you 2-2. How the fuck are you 2-2?
I'll trade you Ayuk.
Well,
I'll take an injured player. I'll take an injured fucking player. I will trade you Ayuk.
I love how he's causing all this shit. Like, I thought, honestly, I'm not trying to talk shit, but I thought I had the best team when what worked for me in the month of September. I had Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill. I had Chicago defense is going off for no reason, saving Caleb Williams' ass. Mixon
for no reason
was going off. I was happy with that 176 points scored. I was like, damn, we're running on all cylinders. And then what happened? Tua gets injured, which makes Tyreek Hill Brandon Ayuk on my team. And then Cooper Kupp goes down. Mixon is down. Just fucking a bunch of injuries. Jordan Love went down week 1. So just everybody went down. Changes in October, I'm spamming the fuck out of the waiver wire. Getting these kids
There you go.
downs. I'm getting Wicks. I'm getting all these wide receivers, and I'm benching the shit out of Tyreek Hill because scoring like 5 or 6 points
Y'all got Tyler Huntley. Y'all
against
got
Tennessee.
Huntley.
Against Tennessee, 5.
Hey, that's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He's not playing like a Pro Bowl quarterback, and our coach doesn't even know how to get the most out of him, so it doesn't even fucking matter. He's playing.
anything.
We're playing the Patriots. We're playing the
Your
Patriots,
quarterback is Justin Fields.
and he got like 30 points last week, which didn't matter because I played G Money, and we all know how that
wins. I have less wins than somebody that has Justin Fields as his quarterback. That is some
I'm
bullshit.
benching the shit out of
You
Tyreek
can
Hill.
Brandon Ayuk. I'm telling you. I'm
No
telling
part
you,
of that
you can have
guy.
Brandon Ayuk. I'm telling you.
Brandon, you can.
I'm gonna bench his ass this week. I'm
Dude,
gonna bench his ass this week and watch what
the
happens.
fact that you don't have Shakir in your starting lineup is crazy. But yeah, you got McConkey's on a bye. He's actually not.
He's all right. He's
But
good.
yeah,
He's-
Cup and Rice being gone, that kind of hurts a little bit.
I would take Rice.
I would.
I'll take Rice.
Okay, I would tell
That
you
nigga
right
motherfucker
now.
is out for the season.
No, I will tell you right now.
I will give any of you guys. This is turning into a trade. I will give any of you guys Rice.
All you guys. Now I feel pretty good about my team. I was gonna come on here and bitch and moan, but no, I'm like,
I just wanted to say I'll bench Tyreek. I'm gonna bench Tyreek Hill because Jalen, you guys got Christian Gonzalez, and that's a good defense, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyreek Hill, I feel with Huntley, he's not doing shit this week. This upcoming week. So
that dude, what was Huntley doing most of the game? Because I don't understand it.
Running schemes that McDaniels has no business making him run. It's just
nobody gets to bitch unless they're 0-4, which I am.
I'm like, dude, A-Chain was actually running the ball pretty decent, but
they're gonna get that
just
kid.
stop running to him.
You're gonna get that kid injured.
All I'm saying is now, hey guys, G Money.
Whooping everybody's ass.
I don't know if you guys understand his roster. Okay, he's got Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Now Stevenson is a joke, but he's got Jamar Chase, who's starting to ball a little bit, even though they're losing. Mm-hmm. He's got Debo, who's getting points. Debo's getting himself a lot of points. Kincaid at tight end, and you know who his flex is? The leading rusher in the NFL in Mason out of San Francisco. He had the backup in San Francisco. The only downfall that he has is Justin Tucker is his kicker because he's the only kicker that's missed a 50-yard field goal this year, which is weird. That Justin Tucker is, I think, 2 of 7 with 50-yard field goals dating back to last year. Because he's usually money on those, but he's going to do a little thing. But yeah, he's on his bench. He's got the starting running back from the Raiders and White. He's got Najee Harris that balled out last week. Algier. He's got Atwell from the Rams. Tyler Lockett. I mean, I think that G Money probably has the best roster of anybody.
G Money went kind of risky
right now,
but it paid off pretty well. It's not that risky. I mean, Derrick Henry, I figured could probably get injured just because of his age. I don't know, but the man doesn't get injured. Guy's solid. He never gets injured.
Right now,
if right now,
I do
think that. I will say this. I do think it's a little bit of a risk of him taking Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, but right now it's paying off. And Derrick Henry, even though he wasn't great the first few weeks, he's the second running back in Ravens history to score a touchdown the first 4 weeks. Outside of what was the name? Jamal Lewis. That early running back from the 2000s with the Ravens. So he's catching. He's got some stuff going on right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at some of these other 4-0s. You can miss me if Aaron Jones and Alvin Kamara are your starting running backs and Addison. I'm still not a believer in Minnesota. Still not. They're not going to keep playing like this. It can't happen.
We keep
Go
saying it.
ahead.
We keep
Oh.
fucking saying that, and they keep fucking doing it. So I don't know.
I'm just saying. I also said that Pittsburgh was a fraud. I said Pittsburgh was a fraud. What did they do?
We'll see this week.
They caught an L, a big old fat L.
We'll see this. Well, this week will prove if they for real or not. Go ahead, Jalen.
How do you feel about your team, Jalen?
Well, now I feel all right. I'm sitting at 2-2. I really should
fucking
be
Josh Allen. Shut up.
I really should be 1-3 right now. What worked well for me has to be Kyron Williams. He's put up 31, 15, 14, and he gave me 20 last week. So Kyron Williams has been a godsend. Win or loss, the win I was most happy with was the game that I should have lost, which was 2 weeks ago. I had 2 people give me goose eggs, and I still won that week.
Damn, that's good.
I think I won by like
cry me a
a
sob
point.
story right now.
So
Cry me a sob story.
I will take that
Tell me the
all day. Also, the Cowboys kicker, he's my kicker, Aubrey. He's been fantastic for me, I will say. I'll give him lots of credit. Although that son of a bitch,
score a touchdown.
Yeah, he didn't score in the last game against the Giants and cost us a cover. But thanks for that. But that's unrelated to this. Changes next or this month. I'm between a rock and a hard place on some of these. I need to figure out if Mostert is worth bringing back in or what the hell he's doing, if the Dolphins are ever going to actually put him back in the game.
Right.
But at the same time, I've got James Cook and Kyron Williams, so I'm not really sweating that. But as a flex, it would be nice to have him in there because I've got usually nothing going on in my flex position. So it's a tough one. Also, Garrett Wilson is about to be dropped as the starter because ain't nothing coming out of him as of late. And he was my first overall pick. So what's going on over here?
There is one person that I added to my roster that I want to wait to see what happens. But Tank Bigsby. Well, what I'm saying is Tank Bigsby. He had a game last week. And ETN has not been doing what ETN should be throughout this year, and they started feeding the rock to Tank to Bigsby a little bit. I'm gonna give it a week, and we'll see if he gets more touches. But he might be somebody. But I really need Nick Chubb to come back. Oh boy, do I need Nick Chubb! I need Nick Chubb in my life. I need Nick Chubb to give me a chubby. That's what I need. I need some good things to happen. So please, sir, come back better than ever. Yeah, terrible.
Well, on that note, we're going to go to a break. We got a nice 10-minute halftime. Give you all a chance to use the bathroom, get a refill, whatever it is you need to do. When we come back, we will have the only G Money on the other end, one of the only undefeated teams in our fantasy league. And we've got some community comments. We're talking, where's Davante Adams going to land? We are talking 3-word game. You guys gave 3 words to describe your team after 4 weeks. And of course, we got the Ride or Die in 5, which has been dog shit for most of us. So, folks.
Yeah.
June, we want to thank you for joining us first half. Good to have you back.
Good to have you back, man.
If you want to follow June, his TikTok is down in the description below. So be sure to give him a follow. And with that being said, we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
First down ball came out of his hand. That is a fumble. And it is scooped up. No. Now it's picked up. Still on his feet is Mack. And Khalil Mack to the 11-yard line.
Try to determine.
Gardner Minshew, what is this? What are we doing, man? I know it's week 1, but I could have done that. Looks like Davante Adams will be out of Vegas sometime soon. He has formally requested a trade from the Raiders after his own head coach liked an Instagram post that was endorsing him being traded. What a 2024 way of doing business in the NFL. So the real question is, where do you think he will end up? Chiefs are injury riddled, especially on offense, which if they get him, forget about it. You can't tell them nothing. That 3-peat is locked in. You can book it now. But I'm thinking the Jets, obviously his old quarterback is there. They could use him. And no offense, but Davante Adams seems like the kind of guy to maybe make the same mistake twice. Following a quarterback that he used to play with and have success with to a dysfunctional organization where the team thinks that they're just a good receiver away from being title contenders. Yeah, checks all 3 boxes of what he just did. If the Jets do get him, they'll obviously be better, but ultimately it would end up just blowing up in the whole team's face, to be honest. But where do you guys think he'll end up? Let us know in the comments below. Talking about this on tonight's episode of After Further Review.
Step back and he's going deep. He's got goal. Full race. Driving. 36. Oh, it's a goal.
By 10 a.m., they had his hand behind his back, and then 3 a.m. got a celebration going with his hand behind his back.
Take a shot. Take a shot. Too much on. Too much on. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Oh! Come on, let's go. Somebody got to win. Who wants it? Who wants it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Oh, you got it. Here we go. Right line. Nope, not tonight, sir.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott's going to be an MVP this year. He needs to be paid. He wants to be a Cowboy for life. So Dak is going to go all out this season.
Tua for MVP. If we get to the Super Bowl, Tua had to win MVP. So I'm going to go with Tua.
Joe Burrow's going to be on a mission this year. Comeback season right out the gate. Stop my Patriots week 1.
Yo, Belichick. Last pick. Oh, last pick.
What's up, guys? We are here at a Bucks creamsicle event. I don't know exactly how to describe this. The Bucks are putting on this event here for all their fans at Armature Works, and we're trying to figure out how to get people to pick our draft order for our fantasy league. We're going to ask random people to pick a name, team name, out of this bowl, minus the marker. I've already been picked, 12th pick in our draft. We're about to find out who else is going next at number 11. So let's see what we can get into.
Brand new bitch, and some brand new friends. Got a brand new bag, ho. And some brand new Benz, ho. Got a brand new coupe. That's a brand new Benz, ho. Got a brand new watch. Skeleton, ho. BD, ho. That's a bust down. Shawty get down, ho. Shawty come around. Shawty know. Ain't a nigga I trust. I hit a hole in your gut. But this ain't rush. Going too fast. What the fuck? Hell, we gone. Yeah, slack out a fuck up first.
Ladies, do you mind just picking a name for us? We're trying to decide our fantasy draft. What does that mean?
My balls in your beer?
My balls in your beer is number 11.
Terrible friends, I'm sorry.
Malin, that's all you. Thank you, ladies. Number 11. That's only right. Do you mind just picking a name to see who goes next?
Sure. Team Johnson.
Team Johnson. Thanks, man. Appreciate
That's
it.
more team. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Azan. Son. We're just trying to decide the order for our fantasy draft. Do you mind? All right.
This was the first region. Find somebody else.
Looks like they know a little bit about football.
I know.
Oh, your draft. Or
Yeah.
All right, what number is this?
This is number 9, I think.
The KU Colts.
KU Colts at 9. Appreciate it, man.
Colts.
Shout out to Kevin. All right.
I really thought before the season started that this team was not going to be good. Let me give the Bills their flowers. This is a tough football team, so they're clearly showing that they have a very good shot of winning the division again. Moving over to the Dolphins, it did not look good. Obviously, he was able to walk off the field, but dog, slide. He had the first down. I don't know what it is about him taking hits. You would think he would have learned his lesson from 2022. No, the game itself, that was awful. The Bills are showing that they still own the Dolphins, and the Dolphins still look just like the breakdancers. Like, they're not a tough team like, say, the Bills. I have no confidence in the Dolphins anymore. I know it's only week 2. I doubt when it gets cold, they're going to be able to go to a cold weather city and win. When they play a tough team that plays bully ball like Buffalo did to them and force Tua to throw everything just underneath and force them to run the ball. They can't stick to it. They're not going to win a game by doing that. Those 3 interceptions were awful. The first one was like, all right, kind of bobbled around a bit, but the other 2 was, come on. Patriots fans, we better be happy that Drake May did not get to start, because he would be dead by now. They're going to get him killed. They're going to get Brissett killed out there. We're at our 3rd string at certain spots in the O-line. It's bad, man. It's so bad. Dudes are just going down left and right on both sides of the ball. We thought the O-line was trash in training camp. We thought right. I know people are saying we need to trade and get an O-lineman. What does it matter at this point, man? You go get one new O-lineman that's going to suck? No, we need seemingly a whole new offensive line at this point. Hey, we got that upset in week 1, that little fluke win. We better take that little win and go right into next year's draft. Travis Hunter, baby, let's go. Jets fans, y'all got to be sick. Bo Nix threw for 60 yards. And he won the game. At halftime, they had negative passing yards. And he finished the game with 60 yards, and they beat Aaron Rodgers. Sickening. Denver was awful on 3rd down. They were 3 of 14 on 3rd down. Are you kidding me? You converted 3 third downs, and you won an NFL game. Jets were even worse, 4 for 17. Yo, this Jets team, man, awful, terrible. We are a quarter of the way through the NFL season, which is crazy to say, but that means it's time to play the 3-word game. Down in the comments below, leave the name of your team and 3 words to describe how you feel about them after week 4. You can use me as an example. I am a Patriots fan. My 3 words, trash offensive line. You want to say it again in case you didn't know. Trash offensive line. Leave your team name and your 3 words to describe them in the comments below.
We stopped pretending that he's even a top 15 quarterback at this point.
Damn.
He played one good half of football the year they went to the Super Bowl. He was garbage before it, and he was garbage after the Super Bowl. He had a bad year last year. He was terrible now.
I would not disagree with this.
I mean, we saw that. No, we saw that first quarter.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. If only you guys could hear 10 seconds prior. G Money, the only undefeated gentleman on this show here. How are you?
Man, I am doing well. And, there are no complaints in this household.
You beat me by 40 points. So,
You're married to my mom. You sure there's none complaints?
I'm absolutely I'm absolutely certain there's none.
Okay.
Though you might want to sleep with you might want to sleep with one eye open after that remark when we come down there in about 3 weeks.
Probably.
You might
You're gonna hurt me.
sleeping might just be a luxury for you.
You're gonna say "fuck you, son."
Gentlemen, it's a new half.
That's what
That
I'm saying.
means we also pour up a new shot. So, what are we all drinking this week?
What do you got there, Gary?
I got JD triple mac.
Shit. Okay.
Good
I
old
got
crusty.
the Jack Daniels Bonded Rye. I got some Woodford. Okay.
I am doing tequila this week out of my
Whoa.
spooky shot glass. You can't see it. There's skeletons on it.
Well, that's
The
like
new logo looks pretty good, Jalen. Well, AFR logo for looks pretty good.
Little Halloween logo there. All right. Let's hit some comments, shall we? Get into the swing of things with what you guys had to say. I made a video commenting on the fact that the Jets lost to the Broncos 10-9 on Sunday. And that was just a sickening way to lose a game. But 609 Jets Media, this is on TikTok, he says, Salah and Hackett have to go. Which, I mean, I think that if the Jets do not have the season that everyone is thinking they will have or should have, they're probably gone. I just can't see them sticking around. NYJ says, I'm disgusted. NBS cost me mad money. I don't know who that is, but all right. And then Brock Purdy the GOAT says, is bro crying? No. But anyway, that was a very the fact that the Jets lost that game was, I mean, Jesus. That's not how you want to lose to the Denver Broncos with 9 points on the board, and you're supposed to have one of the best quarterbacks in history on your side. That's neither here nor there.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, isn't that the first game that Aaron Rodgers has ever played where he finished the game at home and he didn't throw a touchdown?
For a touchdown? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I mean, here you are. You've got this solid defense. You've got a great running game. You've got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. You're playing at home, and you score 9 points against Denver. I mean, the press conference afterwards, after the game, when Salah was saying, one of the problems was the hard count that Aaron Rodgers does. I was like, oh, dude, shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. That's not going to go over well. And it didn't. Aaron called him into his office and said, the fuck are you saying? Dude, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You win a Super Bowl as a quarterback? I don't fucking think so. I'm an MVP. Are you an MVP? I don't fucking think so. I know more about offense than you'll ever know. Now you go back out there tomorrow and you apologize. And yeah, he went out Monday and said, might have been a little wrong on that. Like, dude, grow a pair. I mean, it's fucking Aaron goddamn Rodgers. He dates fucking girls with hairy armpits. I mean, give me a fucking break.
God damn. I will say this. I do think that Robert Saleh is going to get fired after this year.
Unless they just do great things.
Well, I mean, they removed all the obstacles. They've got a good defense. They've drafted well. They have enough offensive talent around this Jets. I know the offensive line isn't that great, But it's not like Aaron Rodgers had great offensive lines before, but I know he's older now. But they've removed all the obstacles. And the only thing that seems glaring on this Jets team this year is a disconnect between Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh. And who are they paying more money to? So he needs to fucking figure it out. So yeah, that Jets team is in trouble.
And I'm here for all of it. Now, next up, speaking of the Jets, where will Davante Adams end up after he formally requested trade now? On TikTok, shout out to Big Mike from the Man Cave. He says, wish he would be traded to the Chargers. Good ass fit there. B-Max says, Raiders aren't going to trade him in the AFC. It will be a team like the Falcons. Snoopy Vogel says, my Buffalo Bills would be a great fit. And then June had said, what did he say? The Packers or the Falcons.
Well,
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that he gets traded in AFC. I think that could happen. I just don't think it's going to be the AFC West.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll do that. They'll trade with somebody in the AFC.
I mean, if they get what they're asking, they want a second round pick and other considerations, which I don't. Is that like a couple of future picks? I mean, what do you want? You want a player? I mean, yeah, I could see the Jets making that trade. I could, if they wanted to trade with him, I could see that because Aaron Rodgers would want him, and Aaron Rodgers wanted some of his receivers from Green Bay come with him. I could maybe see if the Jets were going to do it, they could trade him Garrett Wilson, a young, up-and-coming wide receiver. Next year, the Raiders draft a quarterback because they really don't have one, and give him a second round. Actually, they could get away with, if they're going to do that type of a trade, I'd be saying, I'll give you a fourth-round pick because I'm giving you basically first-round talent. Other than that, I mean, you hear Pittsburgh, but when was the last time Pittsburgh traded for a top-tier anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe on defense, Fitzpatrick from Miami a few years back. But on offense, no. Green Bay, stop it. Just fucking stop. That's never happening. You know, I wouldn't say they won't trade it inside the division. I mean, if Kansas City stepped up and gave them a second, a fourth, and a sixth, they would probably, if that was the best offer, they might seriously think about that because they're not going anywhere this year anyway.
Right.
I mean, so get the best deal.
There are 3 teams that I can think of outside the AFC West. They are in win now mode that I think would be willing to do a deal like this. First would be the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills would be willing to mortgage their future to a certain degree to get somebody like Davante Adams in to give them an edge in the AFC. And I actually think that'd be a pretty good goddamn fit for him. Second, I think would be the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens are in such a win now mode in the 2 years that they have Derrick Henry under contract that they would be willing to eat draft picks to be able to get somebody like. Now I don't know how you work the salary cap on that one, but I think the Ravens would be one, and I think the Cowboys would be another. They would do whatever they had to do salary cap wise to get somebody like Davante Adams. Now, the only other team that's in a win now mode that could get him would be somebody like the Chiefs. But do you really want to mortgage your entire future? Does Patrick Mahomes want to go into a realm of 3 to 4 years of not being really relevant because you have so many aging people around you. I mean, Chris Jones and Kelsey, you're not getting any younger, so that makes me a little bit nervous. But I think Buffalo and the Ravens are probably the two biggest landing spots for somebody like a Davante Adams or a Hopkins.
I mean,
Now.
I could probably see Hopkins going to the Ravens. The Ravens don't throw enough to warrant trading for Adams. I mean, you watch them, you look at them. I mean, Lamar throws what 15 to 20 times a game. Yeah, I don't see Baltimore doing that. I could be wrong. I mean, they could prove me wrong and go ahead and do it. But now you're also hearing that Tyreek Hill may want out, or Miami may want to get him out because there's questions about Tua, and what are you going to do if Tua definitely cannot come back and play football ever again? You need to start dumping salary, and then of course there's Ayuk up in 49 land, who could also move somewhere. So you got three number one wide receivers. One, first the Raiders were shopping him, and once he found out, he's like, well, I kind of want to ignore that, and he goes, oh fuck no, if you're shopping me, then shop me here. Don't shop me at fucking Sears that's gone out of business. Shop me at fucking Neiman Marcus.
Does he have a no trade clause? Do we know that?
I don't. I've not looked at his.
Can I just say he needs to just not chase a quarterback, because the same thing's gonna happen.
Exactly.
They're gonna leave, and he's gonna be left with empty hands. Like, what am I doing with this backup quarterback? What the fuck am I doing?
Not if he goes to a team like Buffalo or Baltimore or Dallas or Kansas City. He's not chasing a quarterback. He's not chasing a QB with those four.
Right.
But I mean, but also, like, could there be a team like the Falcons that wants to try to make a splash and get a one-up on the Bucks, and get somebody like a Davante Adams?
What do you think happens
and I do think that I will say it right now, and I will say it till the end of time. The Falcons would be better with Michael Penix, the quarterback, right now than Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is playing it too safe. I think Michael Penix has a better arm. I think he's more accurate. G Money and I watched him in college in a pro style offense. We watched him play against some of the best defenses. Michael Penix is the best quarterback in this draft, even against Caleb Williams. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. The Falcons would be better starting Michael Penix. And if you give him somebody like Davante Adams, with B. John Robinson and the wide receivers he already has, and Michael Pitts, oh my God, that could be a scary offense. And they got a pretty decent offensive.
Who's their offensive coordinator? I mean, because that's what it comes down to, is who's your OC. If your OC is, middle of the road, and I don't even know who he is, but if you're not going to call plays where you can utilize all the offensive weapons you have, then it makes no difference. But I agree that Penix should be their starting quarterback. He should. But anyway, as far as where Davante Adams goes, my guess is if he's going to get traded, it'll be right around the trade deadline. Otherwise, he stays with the Raiders because they can't find what they want. They tried to trade him in the offseason.
I mean, he could start refusing to play. He could start to sit out.
He could.
Holy shit!
And if he does that, the penalty is not that much, because you still got to pay him, but you can fine him. You still got to pay him, but the fine is not that much compared to what he's getting paid.
Well, I mean, and he could also, if he's going to sit out, he could do it in such a way where, wait a minute, I think I pulled a hammy. I think this isn't feeling good.
Yeah.
Do it that way. So then you don't get fined. So you get the money. Next time we're in Vegas, we see him at the Bellagio at the craps table or something. Or at at one of the nightclubs, but the hammy's acting up, so he can't really do a whole lot. So he's standing, but he's not going to be running around the craps table, and he's not dancing because he's got a table and he's got bottle service.
All right, let's let's move on. Last video here. 3-word game. So I asked people to define or describe their team using 3 words after the 4 weeks that we have played so far. And to define my Patriots, I used trash offensive line. So that was my 3 words. June says Cowboys, fuck Jerry Jones.
Okay, that's 4 words.
4. Typical Cowboys fan.
Yep, can't count.
No, the team name doesn't count as they're just you say your team.
Oh,
and
okay.
Okay.
I was like, God damn, June.
Megan McEwen says Dan fucking Campbell. That's pretty good. Bedazzle says Vikings, very cautiously optimistic. It's responsible.
Could be.
Yeah,
cold.
I can see that.
Donald Harrigan says Bears, hopeful Packers suck. All right. Random user says Rams getting Stafford killed. Nicholas says Ravens need better receivers. Interesting. My favorite one. Yup says slinging Sammy D.
Oh man. I mean, well, I will say this. When it comes to the Vikings, could we be looking at a Vikings season with what do they have? Case Keenum,
Right. Yeah.
quarterback a few years ago when they went up against the Eagles, where they win a bunch of games, but we don't actually think they're going to win a Super Bowl. Like the Vikings could end up ripping off some wins because Sam Darnold is playing better than he's ever played. Which I still love the stat, and I want somebody to keep it up on the touchdown to interception ratio with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield since they left the Carolina Panthers. I want somebody to keep that up because that is awesome. That would be awesome. Now, if you're going to ask me about the Seahawks, I would say Geno fucking Smith. Because we have had injuries on defense. But Geno Smith, I'm going to give him some shine. With a bad offensive line, with a lot of offensive weapons, and even G-Money can attest to this, we have seen the last 2 weeks Geno Smith even do some Russell Wilson-esque type of plays outside the pocket. I feel like Geno Smith has full command of this offense with the offensive weapons. We get our defensive players back because we were missing 5 starters against the Lions. 7? Oh yeah, because we lost a couple during the game.
Well, we lost Love, but all our starting linebackers were out.
Yeah.
And 3 of our starting D line.
Murphy, Nwosu, yeah, we were missing a lot of defense people. But Geno Smith has been playing very good football, very smart football. And I like his decision making. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And so yeah, Geno fucking Smith, with the Seahawks. He's the main reason why I think we're 3-1.
I would say 2.3 seconds. That's how quick Geno is getting the ball out of his hands on average. 2.3 seconds. And it's because of our bad offensive line, because, even with all of that, he's got the most sacks and the most hits than almost any other quarterback in the league. And that's getting the ball out in 2.3 seconds. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he's balling out. He really is. Number one passing team in the league. And it didn't hurt. He threw 58 times against Detroit for almost 400 yards. So Detroit's D is not as good as they think it is, but we were missing a shitload of starters. Yeah, but it's just amazing because even with when Russell Wilson at his heyday, and Russell Wilson when we had no running game and he was the offense, never put it up 58 times in one game. So, yeah. I'm actually. I think 3 words to describe my team would be surprised at grubs. Because for an OC coming out of college, I mean, most of them don't make it in the NFL. They don't. They can't. It's just a different animal. No, not with him. And I think right now he's probably loving the fact that he's in the NFL because I guarantee you, if he does this 2 years in a row, he's going to be a head coach somewhere. Someone will poach him. They'll we like his mind. We want him as a head coach. Yep. It was probably the best. Yeah.
He's a
Can I just go really? You know what I want to say for my Dolphins? Pull the fucking plug. Pull the plug. Because I'll tell you what. Why are we defending? I'm so annoyed in all the comments in social media that we're defending Tua so much. I hope he's good, and I hope he finds his way to be healthy and be with his family. But as a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, why are we defending this man so much when we can't beat when he's healthy? We can't beat an above 500 team. I'm annoyed by that whole thing going on, and now we don't have a fucking quarterback because he doesn't know how to dive. It's just the facts. He shouldn't. Why are you diving with your head?
But that shouldn't have been a concussion. We can all admit that.
Right.
We shouldn't have been a concussion.
Like his head hitting Hamlin's heart is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. A heart that died in a head that can't take a hit. In the heart, beat the head. That's what's crazy.
And our coach isn't good.
Hamlin,
we got the funny coach. I have a comedian.
McDaniels is a good coach. He's a good coach.
I don't think he's that good.
I think he's a good coach.
Way overrated.
I think he's a good coach.
He just needs to figure out a few things. And basically how to use Tyreek Hill when you don't have a quarterback. Because you don't have a quarterback. Use some of those plays you used at the 49ers. I mean, use him like they use Deebo Samuel. He's got the goddamn speed, but,
I think it's hard for any coach to be good when you don't have a quarterback.
Right.
And the Miami Dolphins hitched their wagon to Tua.
They don't have a backup quarterback.
Well, it's hard to get a good
weird.
It's hard, but it's hard to get a good It's hard to get a good backup quarterback. It's hard to get that. Like how many proven backup quarterbacks do we have in the NFL that can go out there and win you a bunch of games?
Now we're worse than the fucking Commanders. Now we're worse than the Panthers.
Apparently, Joe Flacco is the quarterback that everybody should have signed because all he's done is just fucking win games.
We should have had Tannehill. Just
brought Tannehill back. Yeah, he wants to go back to Miami and be a backup. Sure.
He wants to prove everybody wrong. Go back there, win a Super Bowl and go, yeah, and you let me go. I mean, he couldn't.
If that happened, his girlfriend from A&M would be back to
that would send us back to send us back to the original timeline.
Wild. Any other 3-word answers we got there?
That was it.
That was it. Okay. 3-word game. I love it.
All right. Let's get into the last and favorite segment of the week here. Ride or Die in 5. I'm going to keep saying that until I convince myself.
This is rough.
Well, this is where we give you, well, some of us give you the best 5 bets
None of
in
it.
sports this weekend. I can't say any of this.
I think there's only been 2 people in the first 4 weeks that have actually been over 500. I think you were over 500 one week, and G Money was over 500 last week.
Right.
That's it. This season is wild.
Bro.
Don't bet your mortgage on this NFL season, people. Because you won't be paying it.
Last week, Malin and I went 1-4. Nestor went 2-3, and G Money went 3-2. So one of us,
Because he bet against the Hawks. Good job.
Yeah. Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, you know,
Bet against his own team.
bet with my head, not with my heart.
Oh God.
Sometimes you bet with your head. Never mind.
Sometimes.
Nope. Nope. We're not going there. He's married to my mom. We're not doing that.
So we've got 5 games to bet on this weekend, and we're gonna start with not a weekend game. Tomorrow night, we've got an NFC South showdown between the Bucks and the Falcons. This one is in the A. Falcons are 1.5 point favorites against the Bucks. G Money, you are the man with the hot hand, technically. So we will start with you.
So, in all honesty, last 2 times I've had winning records, I've lost the first few games. So, anybody that's betting right now, listen to me and then make the decision based on the fact that I've lost the first 2 games of both times. I'm taking Tampa. I think that they're going to make that correction that they. I mean, you know, it's funny because coaches never take a team for granted that they're going to be playing. Players, on the other hand, they see it. They're like, "Team's not shit," and then they lose and they get behind and they can't catch up. And the other team is like, "Oh, fuck you, man! You don't think we're serious? You don't think we're a professional team? Fuck you! We'll kick your ass. We'll kick your ass at home." So I like Tampa. I'm not sold on Kirk Cousins. I know he's made a crap load of money. I mean, my God, man. I mean, where else could you be franchised twice in D.C., sign a $180 million contract to go to Minnesota, and then sign another? I mean, what is he, like 42 years old? The man is old. And sign another $180 million. He's old.
He's not. He's 36.
Look at him.
He's
That's
36.
old. He's old.
Hey,
He's freaking old.
He's the same age as Matt Stafford and Russell Wilson, I think. The
And
oldest
Russell
player
Wilson-
in the NFL is Jason Peters because we just signed him to our practice squad. Outside of that, it was Aaron Rodgers.
God damn.
And you know,
His age.
they're old too. And we'll get to them later.
We got that.
I mean,
Will we?
but
We have to see
no,
on this? No, we don't. Okay. Thank God.
give me Tampa minus the 1.5. I actually think Tampa's a better team, and I think
no,
plus the 1.5.
It's plus 1.5. Plus 1.5, Gary.
well, for some reason I thought they were minus 1.5. I had
No,
that written
they're
down
plus
like minus
1.5.
1.5. Well, God
Plus
damn it,
1.5.
that's even better. That's even better.
Take the point.
Well, I had written it down differently where they were minus 1.5. I'm like, okay, well, I can see that.
Yes.
But damn, if they're plus 1.5, that's even better for me.
I'm going to agree taking Tampa with the points because Tampa's a very good team. Atlanta, they're just too hot and cold for me. So, Malin.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks on this. Just want to be very clear. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, don't fuck me on this. Do not fuck me on this pick. Y'all better come to play. Don't let Kirk Cousins and 0 points Pitts beat you on this game and not cover the 1.5. I'm not going to make too many jokes because I want to go to a Bucks game in October. I'm going to clack off a vest myself if they lose this game. So if you're listening to me, Homeland Security, it's not actually going to happen. But I would wish it to happen. Because it'll piss me off if I'm picking the Bucks and they don't fucking cover. They should win this game outright. There's no reason why they're not even favored at this point based on the way that Atlanta's been playing. So yeah, Bucks. I'm picking you. Don't make me regret it.
Nestor.
I'm gonna stick to my guns because the team I picked before the show. I'm gonna stick to my guns with this. I think the Atlanta offense is very inefficient, but I just feel like Tampa's gonna get less rest. And if Tampa goes, 4-1, we're gonna have to have a serious conversation about their playoff run. I think they're gonna drop the ball here. Give me Atlanta minus the 1.5.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, let's go to the next game. First London game of the season. 9:30 in the morning Eastern time. This Sunday, we've got the Jets and the Vikings. Get this, Vikings 2.5-point favorites overseas. I will go first here. I'm going to take the Vikings to cover the 2.5 points. The Jets, I don't like them at all. That is not a good football team. There's no convincing me that that's a good football team. Everything I've seen for the past month, they just don't look good. I've not been impressed by anything they've done. I've been more than impressed. Oh, hey there. I've been more than impressed by everything the Vikings have done. Right now, I think that cat could probably beat the Jets defense. That's how bad they look. Yeah.
You said what?
Give me the Vikings to cover, win by a field goal, and a very good game. Should be a good game over there in London. So yeah, go ahead, Maitland.
Yeah, you see this look on Dr. Pepper's face right now? See how shocked he is right now? That's how shocked I'll be if the Jets win this fucking game. So I'm taking Minnesota.
What's going on right now?
I'm gonna go and put the cat down because he's gonna kill me. But no. I just don't trust the way that the Jets have been playing. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. They lose to good teams, they beat bad teams, and they lose to bad teams. And I'm not sold on Minnesota at all. I think that Minnesota is fool's gold. But if there's something below fool's gold, then that's what the Jets are. There is discord between the head coach and the quarterback, so I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota on this one.
Nestor.
I'll tell you what. Brian Flores was right about Tua, and he was right about a second thing. His defense schemes, like this man is just going off when it comes to defense. The Vikings have a pretty good defense, and it's largely in part to Brian Flores. Against a team that Breece Hall had like 4 yards last game, something like 4 yards. You could fall forward a few times and get more than 4 yards. I don't see any reason why the correction for this Vikings team would be the Jets in London. So I have to go with the Vikings.
And G Money.
So, if any of you have watched any Key and Peele videos, this will ring true to you guys. So, I gave you my Aaron Rodgers Salah conversation after the last game. They're going to lose this game. This is going to be his conversation afterwards in the quarterback's room, looking at the hard count, and he's going, "Hey, Aaron, Aaron? Is there a goddamn Aaron in the room? I will break my foot off in your ass, Aaron, if you do that again.
That sounds very racist when you say it, Gary.
That's perfect.
So in essence, we're all taking the Vikings to cover, is what I'm hearing.
I think so. And G Money's going to break a clipboard in someone's ass if they lose that game.
All right. After we all have wiped the sleep out of our eyes, at 1:00 on Sunday, we've got good AFC North matchup between the Bengals and the Ravens in Cincinnati. Bengals 2.5-point underdogs at home. Nestor, what do you like here?
I just feel like Baltimore can stop the run. And that's a pretty big piece when the Bengals are kind of like when they make a couple mistakes that kind of hurt them. When you got Burrow, that's fine. Burrow's a top 5 quarterback. He's a great quarterback, but when he makes 2 mistakes back to back, and he's got to rely on Zach Moss and Chase Brown, Baltimore's going to stop them, and I feel like that's going to be one of the key pieces. So I trust Baltimore with this one to go away and beat the Bengals. Yeah, give me Baltimore in this one.
Malin.
Yeah, Cincinnati has not shown me any ability to play a full 4 quarters, which is crazy. I don't. When you look at all of the games they've played, like how have you lost all of them? But when you look at Baltimore, like, okay, well, you're starting to figure it out, and I do think that Cincy's defense is not going to be able to handle the running game of Baltimore. I do think you're going to see Derrick Henry get some touches, but I also think you're going to see Lamar Jackson even run the ball more. He's probably only going to throw the ball about 16 to 18 times. That's all he's going to need. And they'll probably end up with like 30-some points. So I see Baltimore winning this game.
G Money.
Yeah, so Cincinnati is giving up 145.5 yards a game rushing on the ground. They can't stop the run. My thought is initially Baltimore come out and run the ball, and then they'll start throwing the ball because I think Cincinnati put like 8 in the box to try and stop the run. Like, we have to stop the run. That opens up the tight end and the wide receivers. And then they'll start running again. Now, Baltimore's defense is bad against the pass, but they're stout against the run. It's funny, right? It's kind of like the reverse. So Cincinnati's not going to be able to run on them, but they may be able to throw on them. But 2.5 points, I'm still going to take Baltimore. I'll take Baltimore minus the 2.5.
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta agree with you guys. I'm gonna take the Ravens to cover here because Bengals have not shown me anything. They've just been very sporadic. Doesn't matter whether they're at home, away, whatever. The Ravens are on the up right now, so the fact that it's a 2.5-point line in favor of the Ravens and they're on the road, I would not be surprised at all if a last-second Justin Tucker field goal wins this thing for the Ravens in a very good game. So
as long as it's not 50 yards out.
Hey, maybe he makes it this time.
Maybe he may. The fact that we're even saying maybe he makes it this time is showing just the fall off that Justin Tuckers have.
It's a weird year. All right, Sunday at 4:30, we've got the Packers and the Rams. This one is in LA. Malin, we're going to start with you first here. What do you like in this one?
I like Green Bay only because Matt Stafford is showing his age at this point behind a very bad offensive line. No weapons outside of Williams at running back. Williams at running back, right? Aaron Williams, is that his name? Okay. Outside of a running game, like he's not throwing to anybody he's comfortable with. And he's running around behind a bad offensive line. So I like Green Bay in this game. I think that Jordan Love, with his second game back, with the weapons he has, Josh Jacobs being there, Dobbs, I just think that the Rams are just snake bitten right by injuries, and they're not talented enough to overcome it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Green Bay in this one.
All right.
Are we having an echo somewhere?
I think it's on G Money's end.
Like I just heard myself talk.
That's just the voices in your head, my friend. Just the voices in your head.
Nestor, go ahead.
I love this team. I love what they're doing with their wide receivers with Wicks, Reed, Dubs. I just the way Jordan Love can just alternate between these receivers without a need for a running game. Because what the hell is going on with their running game? Nobody knows. They don't need to do much against LA because Puka Nakul's out, Cooper Kupp is out. Their backup wide receivers aren't worth shit. So their O-line is crap. They're just not going to do much. They're just going to rely on Kyrie Williams again. And Green Bay's too much of a good team. So give me Green Bay.
G Money.
Yeah, I don't know if Green Bay's that good of a team, but what I do know is that the Rams' defense is ranked 31st in the league. They're ranked 32nd against the run. This is what happens. Aaron Donaldson retires. All of a sudden, that person on the D line that took up 2 players to block him and sometimes 3, you don't have that anymore. You let Von Miller go the year before, so you just don't have the players you had before. Your defense is not even a shadow of what it once was. Your defense doesn't exist. And that was pretty obvious when you lost to Chicago. Offensively, you've got Kyrie, you've got Williams. Matt Stafford is good enough as a quarterback to create other receivers. He's just not going to get the time. He really isn't. They're not the best. Well, obviously they're not the best team rushing either. Even with Williams, I gotta take Green Bay. I just.
The only thing I disagree with you on that is that when has Matt Stafford ever been good enough to make wide receivers better? He's always been at his best when he's had great wide receivers. And he doesn't have any right now. And I just he made some decisions last week against Chicago that a couple of those passes, even in the red zone, I was like, yeah, you can't make those throws anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And at 36 years old, I don't think anyone expected him to age the way that he did, but a lot of people forget he played for Detroit, which was a shit-ass organization for a very long time. So he's going to age a little bit more than a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers or something like that. And listen, hey, Russell Wilson isn't even playing right now. So 36 years old does not mean you're a great starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Packers to cover here. That last game against the Bears, as far as the Rams go, was very telling. They talk about fumbling the bag. Green Bay, Jordan Love is back. It took kind of last game for them to get the groove back there. They damn near were able to come back and beat the Vikings. And pull that thing off. So I would say against a team that is not as good as the Vikings, who is not even favored at home, the Packers should be able to win this by probably a touchdown if we're just being real. So, the Rams defense is bad. All they've got going for them on offense right now is Kyron Williams. Give me the Packers to cover 3 points. Last but not least, Monday night game. We've got the Saints and the Chiefs. Chiefs are 4.5 point favorites at home. G Money.
This is a tough game for me. I kept going back and forth and realizing that Kansas City doesn't have the number one wide receiver. But then they do have the kid they drafted, Xavier. Forget his last name, but anyway, I gotta like the Chiefs minus the points at home. They find a way to win. They win. They win ugly, but yeah, nobody cares how you win, or they look at the end of the day as if you won or not. And with us, it's if you covered the spread or not. And I think they will. I think they'll cover the spread. I think their defense is a little bit better than New Orleans, and they faced Derek Carr before. They know what he has and what he doesn't have.
I am going to go Chiefs to cover here. I just have a hard time picking against the Chiefs. I know that they're banged up. I get it. But typically that's just the safe pick to make. So at home, I really don't believe in the Saints. That's another big part. I think the Saints are a bit fraudulent, and we've seen the best of them already. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. Prime time. Please win this by a touchdown. I would be very happy. Malin.
What does everybody else pick so far?
Saints. Chiefs.
You picked the Saints. It's like, you weren't paying attention? Yeah, we all picked the Saints. Yeah, you should do that too.
Nestor picked the Chiefs, didn't he?
He is not gone yet.
Oh, he hasn't gone
He's
yet.
trying to throw you off the scent.
All right, what did G Money pick?
We're all Chiefs so far.
Yeah, God, is this going to be the week that the Chiefs fall off the wagon by not having enough talent on offense? I mean, you beat the Chargers, 17-10. I'm taking New Orleans. I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take New Orleans. I think they got a better offense right now. I don't know about that defense. This could bite me in the ass. I know it could, but this NFL season has been pick 'em at worst as far as what's supposed to happen. And so yeah, the Chiefs are supposed to beat the New Orleans Saints. But nothing is going along with the script thus far. I mean, hell, Minnesota's 4-0 at this point. So I'm going to go against the script. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to pick New Orleans in this one because I just think that KC's offense has been very suspect. They have not been able to put up a bunch of points. New Orleans has proven that they can. And I just don't trust that offense right now with KC. So I'm going to go and take New Orleans in the points.
All right. Nestor.
The Chiefs have something that probably not a lot of other teams have. probably no other team has right now. That's the refs. At home,
Man.
at home,
Man.
playing smart football. You can bet. You can bet on the Chiefs winning. What you can't bet on is at -4.5. That's a little bit too rich for a team that has too many injuries. You got Pacheco out. They got Rice out. Rest in peace. It's too much. Too much. They're gonna win. Chiefs are definitely gonna win. But by 4.5, too much for me. Give me the Saints.
God damn, that's too funny. I kind of want to change my pick now because
That is a
he's
lot
not
of
wrong.
respect. But that is a lot of respect for the Chiefs offense to give them a 4.5 point favorite when their offense has not done anything this year.
Yep.
Like, that's wild that they're 4.5 point favorites. Like, if it was 3 points, I'd probably be taking the Chiefs. But 4.5.
At this point, I'm just banking on the fact that I really believe the Saints are frauds. That's it.
I mean,
but they're still healthy. They're still healthy.
Alvin Kamara.
No one's hurt yet.
I mean, they lost the last 2 games at home. They lost to Philadelphia, which we all believe is a dumpster fire. And then they lost to Atlanta, which we don't think is a really good team. So, yes.
Yeah, but okay, but do we think the Chargers are a good team? They barely beat the Chargers. They needed, they needed to be bailed out. Against what team, Nestor? Which team? Well, actually, they need to be bailed out against the Ravens. And who else? Did they get bailed out on? No, there was another one. What was it? Buffalo? Did they play Buffalo?
The Falcons? No, it wasn't Atlanta. It was
the who now?
I mean, Cincinnati. I mean, they do play close games.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. They got bailed out against Cincinnati with a goddamn ref.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous. that fucking game.
26,
Should've lost that goddamn
25.
game.
What in the hell? This is going to be another 26-25 type of game.
Maybe.
And, you are right. You are right about this, Nestor. Patrick Mahomes has had the most interceptions called back by defensive penalty than anybody else in 2019. I think he's at 18. So whenever he throws a pick late in the game, the refs are like,
he's like, give me some. Give me some.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He's not at all. All right. So just to recap, Ride or 5 this week, we're all taking the Bucks to cover tomorrow night.
No, I'm not taking the Bucks to cover.
That's right. Nestor was the outlier. I'm sorry. How dare I?
Time to bite me in the ass later.
Very adamant about those.
Glad you reminded me.
No.
He's like, no, I want that L.
Did I say that?
Down
I
there in
own the L.
Sarasota, do things a little differently. All right, and then Sunday morning, we're all taking the Vikings to cover because none of us give the Jets and Ice Cube a chance in hell to do anything. Sunday afternoon, Ravens and Vikings. Wait, I'm sorry. Ravens and Bengals. I'm mixing up these games. We're all taking the Ravens to cover. Sunday at 4:30, we're all taking the Packers to cover on the road. Getting a little nervous here. And then Monday, me and G Money are taking the Chiefs to cover. And then Malin and Nestor are taking...
You feel real confident about that pick. As confident as I feel about my pick. Nestor brings up a good point. The Chiefs are traveling with the refs.
Right. Can the Saints overcome the refs with 4.5 points? That's what it comes down to.
That game is within 7 points in the fourth quarter, under 5 minutes. Patrick Mahomes is going to get some fucking calls. It'll be third and 16. No, it'll be like 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. They'll be down by 7 or but down by 5, and it'll be third and 16. And Patrick Mahomes will throw a pick, and they'll be like defensive holding, 5 yards, first down, and the Chiefs are going to score a fucking touchdown. If this happens, people,
Kareem Hunt.
we know the goddamn NFL is rigged. Because
Or-
I fucking called it.
Or Kansas City will be up by 6 with 2 minutes left, and Derek Carr has the ball, and he hits Olave for yes, exactly, for a 45-yard touchdown, and it's an offensive hold, and they bring it back.
Some offensive hold. It'll be like the Chiefs, like New Orleans could run out an offensive lineman with no fucking arms, no call holding on him. So they end up getting.
In that case, they're called a personal foul for biting.
Yeah, personal foul for biting.
15 yards.
Bit him through the ear hole somehow. Yeah, the Chiefs, man, they get more favorable calls than the Patriots ever did. Wild. I think the NFL wanted the Patriots to lose for so many years, and they just kept fucking winning. At this point, I just think the NFL wants the Chiefs to keep winning, because they want to keep showing Taylor Swift on the fucking jumbotron every goddamn telecast they have, because they're getting more Swifties becoming football fans, even though they don't even understand the goddamn game.
Well, the funny thing about that is that she hasn't been in the last couple of games. She's like, no, I'm not going.
What is happening?
Yeah.
No, we're not becoming that show. We are not going to start wondering what's happening.
I mean, is there turbulence in the Swifty-Kelsey relationship? I don't know.
All I know,
why don't you join us next week when we go over the Swifty-Kelsey relationship and tell you just what we've seen
on the inside of the NFL. No, I will say this though, man. Travis Kelce, he's starting to look a little bit like me in the face. He's starting to look a little pudgy. And if you start looking a little pudgy in the face, you're pudgy in other areas. And so he needs to get on a goddamn diet. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
She's gonna make him work out because she doesn't like pudgy guys. That's one of her turnoffs.
Red flag.
For you Swifties, you know that. You should tune into the show. We'll give you more comments.
She's about to write a song about it.
That's
we
right.
need to end this week's show here.
You put on too
about
much
that
weight,
time.
and I hate your mustache. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's gonna be a song.
Kids, thank you all for watching, listening. Hope you learned something this Wednesday night. I sure didn't. Folks, we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Hey.
Same bet channel.
We'll see what happens, guys. It's a wild league that we're living in right now, so
it
no
is.
promises. Anyway, we hope you all have a good week. Be sure to follow us TikTok and Instagram. It's at AFR Sports on both platforms. And yeah, stay tuned. Have a good week, folks. We'll see you all next time.
Peace out, guys.